So hi everyone, this is Country Music News International. My name is Nigel Sharpe, and today I have the very great pleasure to be talking to Ms. Rhonda Vincent. Yeah,
hello.
I can see you and I can hear you, so that's cool.
Oh, very good. Well, that's exciting. I didn't know there was a passcode. It's like, oh, where is the passcode? But I found it.
How are you?
I'm good. Doing media day. We put that mandolin down.
Okay, I thought you were just going to give us a quick impromptu concert there.
Well, I can do that too.
It's not often I get the chance to listen to Rhonda Vincent playing the mandolin, so I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to be able to speak to you, and we really appreciate it that you take the time to do these little interviews with us.
My pleasure.
Over here in I can tell you, sunny Europe.
Is everything open? Are you under quarantine, or so everything's open now?
Not really, no. We still got lockdown, but
oh, you do?
Yeah, it's looking better, and people are really kind of planning for some kind of a summer.
Okay.
And, I actually had a rehearsal with my band on Monday this week, which is like, wow, it's the first time we've actually physically seen each other for months. And
really?
We've actually got a gig next week, and we're so excited.
Yes, I know. We're gearing up. We're going to have a normal summer if we get to July next month.
Right.
Starting next month. So everything, but like the Grand Ole Opry's open, we're mask free and Branson. And so we're almost back to normal here.
Okay. No, we're still wearing masks. And really, no. You can only go to kind of like the supermarket for shopping. Everything else is like buy it from Amazon online, you know.
Oh, you have that there too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
There is no life without Amazon.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion, you know.
Yes, very true. It's pretty handy.
So as I understand it, you know, you've just released a new album, and you're busy with media duties. So have you been having like millions of interviews this week or last week?
Well, just today. I started at 9:30 this morning, and I'm going to 5 o'clock today. So
wow.
I have had a few throughout, but we decided to do it all in one day. I try to be very conscious of if I have a show that I don't, otherwise if I talk too much, I can lose my voice for the show. So
right.
I was on the Grand Ole Opry Friday and Saturday of this week. I did 7 events in 4 days this past weekend. So this is why we moved the media day to now versus right before all of those things.
Yeah, good thinking. Yeah, so how did all that go at the Grand Ole Opry?
It was great. It's their first sold out show. They seat 4,300 people. Okay. And Saturday night was their very first sold out because they're at full capacity and no mask. And Saturday night was the very first sold out Grand Ole Opry since I believe a year plus.
Wow. It's really quite scary when you think about it, you know, what we've not been able to do for the last 15 months or whatever, you know.
Right.
Especially if you're a musician. Do you work in the entertainment business?
I either see, like I have, my daughter is in a field, and son-in-law, Tinsel and Brent are in the fields where they have been thriving through this. And then you have the other spectrum to where if you're a musician or you're a tech person, you have no work. So interesting to see the contrast.
Yeah. So what did you get up to then in 2020? Were you able to, do any recording or writing or make videos or?
Well, I mean, I do a lot of Facebook Lives. I don't know if you can see them there, or is our Facebook the same? But I've done my husband and I live at the lake now. We just moved there, had just moved there a few months before the quarantine. And my state in Missouri, where I live, we didn't really ever have a lockdown. So we didn't feel like we were being suppressed or kept from anything because we were out on the water, we were fishing, and it was just that I was off the road. So it was kind of a test of our marriage. We've been married 37 years to see if we could be together this long, because usually I'm on the road and I'm home and then I'm gone. And now it was like, honey, I'm home. So it was fun for a while. I was baking and we were fishing. And then all of a sudden, as the months wore on, it's like, okay, can't you go somewhere?
What's on TV tonight? Yeah.
Yes.
So you've been called the Queen of Bluegrass and multi-award winner and all this kind of stuff. It seems to me you're about the queen of everything. Instrumentation, singing, performing. About the only thing you're not queen of is the Queen of England.
Well, I like to do a lot of things, that's for sure. I love getting online. I love singing and performing and, and creating this project. This project has been 2 years in the making because,
right.
I was invited to be a member of the Grand Ole Opry on February 28th of 2020, waited.
Right.
I have to recount this. I've gotten the number of days I waited to be a member of the Opry. I think I'm getting it confused with the number of words that are in the song "I Ain't Been Nowhere" that's on the album. But anyway, I waited a long time, and so very, very exciting to finally release this.
So, I mean, I've got to be honest. I've never been to Nashville. I've never been to the Grand Ole Opry. I've been to the States a number of times, but I haven't made it to Nashville yet.
You've got to come and visit us here.
Yeah, I know. It's on my bucket list.
Very nice. Yes. Yeah, you will love it.
So, over here in Europe, I don't think we really quite understand the significance of the Grand Ole Opry and what it means to people. So what is that when you get invited to join it? You become a member of the Grand Ole Opry?
Well, it's a place that I grew up listening to. My family, I grew up in a musical family traced back 5 generations. So the Grand Ole, that's something that was so important to our family. And it's like anyone, if you have something that you've grown up listening to or been, long to be part of, to me, it's a great honor. I've listened to that. I've listened to the people that were on there, everyone from Hank Williams Sr., Loretta Lynn, String Bean. My first visit was at the Ryman Auditorium, my first visit to the Opry, probably when I was 5 or 6 years old. And I remember String Bean, but watching and listening to all of these artists, Flatt and Scruggs, Bill Monroe, growing up listening to them and to this, it was like a very hallowed place. And so growing up, that became really important to me. That was important to my parents. And you know how that is, you carry on that tradition. It became important to me. And I loved it so much. I love the music that was made there, the history that it holds, and the remembrance of many people. And so that's why it was so important to me. I longed to be that. It was my lifelong dream, but there's not really a criteria. It's an invitation. I performed on there. I believe I just made my 221st appearance on the Opry. So I had performed on there, but to become a member, I was so shocked and so overjoyed when I was invited by Jeannie Seely to be a member. And so it's basically joining a family now, and that's what they call it. It's joining the Opry family. Okay. And I think it becomes a support. Jeannie's she says that she's my Opry sister, and that's very true. We talk, almost every other day, and it's just a great form of support for the music. You make appearances there, they promote your music, and I in turn, do the same. And I always tell everybody about how much I love the Grand Ole Opry.
So how many people are, currently members, roughly?
Well, that is the amazing thing. Do you know there's a discrepancy on the number. I was supposed to have been 222. That was supposed to have been the only, and that's really in the scope of the world, that's not that many.
It is not.
And here's the other unique thing. Is my brother is also a member of the Grand Ole Opry in the group Dolly and Vincent. So that's very unlikely. The odds are so unlikely that 2 people from the very small town in Missouri would end up being members of the Grand Ole Opry. We are historical in the fact that it's the first time that brother and sister were members of the Grand Ole Opry. But, and I forgot the original question.
How many people? Well, you've told me the answer already, about 222.
So, yeah, I think it's so a family has come up and said they think that a member of their family was made a member of the Opry years and years ago. So this is being researched. And the crazy thing is this may shift all of the numbers. Like certain people, like say they were number 189, and when they became a member, that was the number that they were. And that's going to shift all the numbers. And some people are very upset about that. It's like, no, I want this number. So,
Okay.
but you know what? I'll take whatever number they want to give me.
I mean, do they give you some kind of a certificate, you know, with your number on it, or is it?
They give you, it's a trophy, and it's a replica of the microphone that has Grand Ole Opry on it.
Okay.
And so it's a trophy that they presented to me. And that's kind of the symbolic of your membership.
Okay, that's great. Seriously, I mean, these are things we don't really know much about over here, you know. And
oh yes.
Anyway, I must ask you a little bit more about the album. The actual title track, "Music Is What I See." Who wrote that?
Mike Deacle wrote that. He is a very visual writer. You can just see everything he writes. He wrote another song that I recorded years ago called "Till They Came Home," and it's the same. He like tells a story, and you can just see everything that he writes about. I love his writing, and I love that song. I think it's, people say, "What's your favorite?" Well, I love them all, but that one really is very special.
That's a great song. That really kind of stands out, I think. One of the other ones that kind of, you know, my ears perked up, as it were, was "Unchained Melody." How did you come to choose that one? That was a bit of a surprise.
Well, I think it was a surprise for me. I started thinking about the songs that we sing, and they're always either a sad song and nothing that really I could sing to my husband and to really signify. I was thinking everybody needs a song that they could sing to their partner to show them how much they love them. And I thought, that has the perfect message. It was very familiar to me. And I thought, well, this will be easy. We'll do it. Do you know, it took me 12 hours to sing that song. It is the most challenging song I have ever sang before. I have yet to really master it and sing it live. The breathing pattern is so different on that. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I purposely put a banjo on it because it's like, this is going to be a bluegrass version. It has to have the banjo on it.
Right. Good. I'm guessing that you've still got a lot of meetings to attend to. So
I do. Thank you so much.
I'm going to cut
invite
this
everyone
off.
to join me at rhondavincent.com, and that's where you can find out where we are, what we're doing. You can get the merchandise, and so I hope that you'll stay in touch through Facebook and rhondavincent.com.
That sounds like a good idea to me, and I'm sure that's a good idea to anybody who's watching this video. So everybody, this is Country Music News International. My name's Nigel Sharpe. I've been talking to Rhonda Vincent. My very great pleasure, I can tell you. And we wish you all very well. And Rhonda, thanks again for taking the time for the interview. And don't wear your voice out.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you
best
too.
wishes to you. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.